In today's video, we embark on a captivating journey through Japan's historical transformation from a militaristic nation to one that promotes anti-militarism. Join us as we uncover the reasons behind Japan's adoption of an anti-militarism doctrine and explore the significant milestones that shaped its path towards peace. To understand Japan's shift towards anti-militarism, we must first venture into its tumultuous past. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Japan's militarism had reached its peak. Driven by expansionist ambitions, the nation engaged in conflicts with its neighboring countries, seeking to assert dominance in the region. These escalations ultimately culminated in the devastating events of World War II. The aftermath of World War II proved to be a turning point for Japan. The nation was left grappling with the unimaginable horrors of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The scale of destruction and loss of life forced Japan to confront the consequences of its militaristic pursuits, igniting a collective desire for lasting peace. In the wake of World War II, Japan underwent significant political, social, and economic transformations during its occupation by the Allied forces, primarily led by the United States. This period marked the beginning of Japan's post-war identity and set the stage for the adoption of an anti-militarism doctrine. A crucial milestone in Japan's journey towards anti-militarism was the enactment of the new Constitution of Japan in 1947. This constitution, often referred to as the post-war constitution or the Constitution of Peace, played a pivotal role in shaping Japan's stance on militarism. At its core, Article 9 of the Constitution renounced Japan's right to maintain a standing army, wage war, or use force to settle international disputes. While Article 9 constrained Japan's military capabilities, the nation recognized the importance of self-defense and maintaining regional stability. In 1957, the Japan Self-Defense Forces were established. The JSDF, with a primary focus on defensive capabilities and humanitarian assistance, exemplifies Japan's commitment to peace, while adhering to the principles of the Constitution. In the modern context, Japan's anti-militarism doctrine continues to guide its national identity and foreign policy. The government places emphasis on diplomacy, multilateralism, and the peaceful resolution of conflicts. Japan actively engages in international organizations, contributes to peacekeeping missions, and promotes disarmament efforts to foster global stability. The adoption of an anti-militarism doctrine in Japan can be attributed to several key factors. Firstly, the traumatic experiences of World War II profoundly impacted the nation's psyche, instilling a deep aversion to war and militarism. The memories of the devastation caused by the war fueled a collective determination to prevent its reoccurrence. Secondly, Japan's alliance with the United States played a significant role in its anti-militarism trajectory. The security guarantees provided by the United States allowed Japan to focus on rebuilding its economy and society, freeing the nation from the need to pursue military aggression. Furthermore, Japan recognized the importance of maintaining a positive international reputation. By embracing anti-militarism, Japan aimed to shed its militaristic image, gain trust and respect from the global community, and contribute as a responsible member of the international stage. Today, Japan stands as a symbol of a nation that has undergone a remarkable transformation. Its journey from a militaristic power to a promoter of peace and stability has not been without challenges. Let's explore the further nuances and developments that shaped Japan's anti-militarism doctrine. Following World War II, Japan faced a daunting task of demilitarization. The Allied forces overseeing Japan's occupation actively dismantled and disarmed the Japanese military apparatus. The goal was to eliminate the aggressive capabilities that had fueled Japan's expansionist ambitions in the past. The process involved significant reforms, including the dissolution of the Imperial Japanese Army and Navy. War criminals were brought to justice through the Tokyo Trials, a series of military tribunals held to hold individuals accountable for their actions during the war. These measures were crucial in severing the ties to militarism and fostering a culture of peace. Central to Japan's adoption of anti-militarism was a deliberate focus on education and cultural transformation. The Japanese education system underwent comprehensive reforms to promote peace, pacifism, and critical thinking. Textbooks were revised to provide a more balanced and reflective understanding of Japan's history, emphasizing the consequences of militarism and the importance of peace. The media played a vital role in shaping public perception. Films, literature, and other artistic mediums highlighted the human cost of war and celebrated stories of resilience, reconciliation, and the pursuit of peace. These cultural endeavors were instrumental in cultivating a societal commitment to anti-militarism. Japan's anti-militarism doctrine was further influenced by the need for regional reconciliation. Recognizing the deep scars left by its wartime actions, Japan pursued diplomatic efforts to mend relationships with its neighboring countries, particularly those affected by its past aggression. Apologies, reparations, and bilateral dialogues were initiated to address historical grievances. These gestures aimed to foster trust, cooperation, and a collective commitment to peace in the Asia-Pacific region. While challenges and sensitivities remain, Japan's efforts towards reconciliation have played a significant role in the wider adoption of anti-militarism in the region. In the pursuit of peace, Japan actively engages in global peacekeeping operations and humanitarian efforts. Despite the constraints of Article 9, Japan has found alternative avenues to contribute to international security and stability. The Japanese government has passed legislation to enable limited participation in United Nations peacekeeping missions. The Japan Self-Defense Forces, primarily focused on self-defense, have supported peacekeeping efforts through logistical support, medical assistance, and humanitarian aid in conflict-affected regions worldwide. Furthermore, Japan has become a prominent donor in humanitarian aid, disaster relief, and development assistance. Through its contributions, Japan strives to alleviate suffering, support reconstruction, and foster peaceful coexistence in areas affected by conflicts or natural disasters. Japan's security policies have witnessed notable shifts over the years while adhering to the anti-militarism doctrine. In response to changing global dynamics, Japan has reevaluated its defense posture and approach to security. In recent years, Japan has increasingly engaged in security cooperation with its allies and partners, particularly the United States. Bilateral and multilateral defense agreements, joint military exercises, and intelligence sharing have become vital components of Japan's security architecture. These efforts aim to enhance deterrence, strengthen regional stability, and counter emerging security challenges such as cyber threats and territorial disputes. However, it's important to note that these developments remain within the framework of Japan's constitutional limitations and its commitment to peace and disarmament. While Japan's adoption of an anti-militarism doctrine enjoys broad public support, there are ongoing debates and challenges within Japanese society. Some argue for a reinterpretation or amendment of Article 9 to provide Japan with more flexibility in its defense capabilities. Proponents of this view argue that Japan should be able to respond to emerging security threats and play a more active role in international security affairs. On the other hand, there are those who remain steadfast in their commitment to the original intent of Article 9. They believe that any deviation from its principles could potentially erode the hard-earned peace and stability that Japan has achieved. These individuals emphasize the importance of maintaining Japan's pacifist identity and using diplomatic means to resolve conflicts. Furthermore, the evolving security landscape in East Asia poses unique challenges for Japan's anti-militarism doctrine. North Korea's nuclear ambitions, China's assertiveness in the region, and the territorial disputes over the East China Sea and the South China Sea have prompted Japan to reassess its security posture. While Japan remains committed to peaceful resolutions, it must also ensure the protection of its national interests and the security of its citizens. Another area of contention lies in the interpretation of collective defense. Until recently, Japan had maintained a strict interpretation that limited its participation in collective defense operations, even when its allies were under attack. However, in 2015, the Japanese government enacted legislation that allowed for a more proactive interpretation of collective self-defense, permitting limited engagement in certain scenarios. These policy adjustments have sparked debates within Japan, with concerns about potential mission creep or entanglement in conflicts that do not directly affect its national security. Striking the right balance between self-defense and maintaining a peaceful stance continues to be an ongoing challenge for policymakers and the Japanese public alike. In recent years, Japan has also faced pressures to address historical issues, including revisiting apologies, acknowledgement of past wrongdoings, and addressing comfort women issues from World War II. These issues have strained Japan's relationship with neighboring countries, particularly South Korea and China. Balancing the need for historical reckoning and maintaining stable regional relations is an ongoing diplomatic challenge for Japan. Despite these challenges, Japan's commitment to anti-militarism remains strong. The majority of the Japanese population values the peace and stability that the Antimilitarism Doctrine has brought to the nation. This commitment is further reflected in Japan's pacifist foreign policy, active participation in international organizations, and contributions to global peacekeeping efforts and humanitarian aid. Japan's journey towards anti-militarism is an inspiring example of a nation's ability to confront its past, learn from its mistakes, and forge a new path based on peace, cooperation, and respect for international norms. By adopting an anti-militarism doctrine, Japan has not only transformed itself, but has also become an advocate for peace and disarmament on the global stage. In conclusion, Japan's adoption of an anti-militarism doctrine can be attributed to a combination of historical factors, including the devastation of World War II, the influence of the post-war constitution, the pursuit of regional reconciliation, and a commitment to global peacekeeping efforts. While challenges and debates persist, Japan's dedication to peace and stability remains unwavering. As we look to the future, it's crucial to recognize and appreciate the remarkable journey that Japan has undertaken to become a leading proponent of peace in our world.